Good morning, this is World Cup Daily from Stoppage Time News. Everything you missed overnight in one sitting. Coming up, FIFA's plan to sell off stakes in the World Cup hits fresh resistance from Concacaf and the AFC. Danny Welbeck's move to Chelsea edges from rumour to medical. And Tottenham see off Sydney FC on penalties after a stunning Mathys Tel free kick. It's Wednesday the 29th of July. Let's get into it. Arthur here. And while the World Cup itself wrapped up last month, pre-season is now grinding into gear across Europe, with the new Premier League campaign just weeks away. In Australia, Tottenham needed penalties to beat Sydney FC after a pulsating 1-1 draw over 90 minutes, in which Mathys Tel scored a stunning free kick, according to Sky Sports' Spurs' third pre-season win. Meanwhile, in the United States, Andoni Iraola's Liverpool tenure continues to take shape. The Reds opened with a friendly win over Sunderland, and now an injury-hit squad head to New York to face Wrexham, according to This Is Anfield and talkSPORT. Off the pitch, the post-tournament fallout keeps rolling too. Marc Cucurella has followed through on a promise made before the World Cup final, getting a tattoo of Spain boss Luis de la Fuente after winning it all, according to the BBC, ESPN and BBC Sport. A lighter note on a morning otherwise dominated by boardroom battles. More on that in a moment. For now, the pre-season circuit rolls on, with clubs rotating heavily as they build towards the new campaign. Fitness and form the two big questions before a ball is kicked in anger. And with kickoff weeks away, all 20 Premier League clubs have now revealed their new home kits for the coming season. Plenty of talking points there before a ball's even kicked competitively. Now to the story of the day. And it's a fight over football's finances. FIFA is reportedly offering national associations $40 million each if they back a controversial plan to sell off stakes in the World Cup to private investors, with member associations given until the 19th of September to sign on, according to the BBC and ESPN. The reaction has been fierce. Concacaf and the AFC, the governing bodies for North America and Asia, say they are, in their words, deeply concerned, according to FourFourTwo and The Independent. England's FA has joined UEFA in publicly criticising the plan, with an emergency UEFA meeting reportedly on the table. And The Guardian's Nick Ames argues UEFA now has to show real backbone, warning that tough talk alone won't make Infantino's plans untenable. Options reportedly being discussed range from a boycott to a full breakaway. It's shaping up as one of the more significant governance battles football has seen in years, with the 19th of September now a date to watch. Kate, what's moving on the wire?
Thanks, Arthur. Busy morning on the wire, and remember, these are reports, not done deals. The headline mover is Danny Welbeck, given permission for a medical at Chelsea, with the Blues set to pay Brighton an undisclosed fee, reportedly their first for an over 26 signing since 2022, according to Sky Sports and the BBC. It's a real step forward after Chelsea's interest was first flagged as exploratory. Elsewhere, the picture is murkier. Some BBC gossip column reports say PSG's Bradley Barcola has verbally agreed personal terms with Liverpool, while CaughtOffside and Sky Sports say the two clubs are only now set to open talks over a fee, so treat any so-called agreement with caution for now. In Spain, the Guardian's gossip roundup links Barcelona with young Lorient forward Eli Jr. Krupi as their striker search continues, with Julian Alvarez still stuck in a tug-of-war between Atletico Madrid and both Madrid clubs. And Real Madrid's long-running interest in Manchester City's Rodri hasn't gone away either, Sky Sports reports, with suggestions Madrid could move for their World Cup-winning midfielder a year earlier than originally planned, though there's nothing concrete yet. Nothing signed, nothing official, but plenty in motion. Quick hits before we go. Nottingham Forest are closing in on Sporting Lisbon's Ivory Coast defender Ousmane Diomande, according to the BBC. A different deal entirely from the Yan Diomande transfer saga we've followed elsewhere this summer, so don't get the two confused. Jack Grealish will not feature on Manchester City's pre-season tour of Asia, left out despite returning to training after a foot injury, the BBC reports. In Scotland, Celtic captain Callum McGregor says he sees his future at the club and wants to win the league, in his words, in a bit more style this season. Crystal Palace are in talks over former Arsenal defender Takehiro Tomiyasu, who's training with the club and was named among the substitutes in their preseason friendly against Lens, the BBC reports. And at Southampton, director of women's football Marianne Spacey-Cale has announced she'll step down later this year. Away from the transfer chatter, the BBC has also rounded up every significant signing and departure across the Premier League, Scottish Premiership, EFL, and Women's Super League so far in July. Worth a look if you've lost track of who's gone where. Back to you, Arthur.
So, what to watch next? Chelsea's medical process for Danny Welbeck is expected to conclude in the coming days, with confirmation likely once terms with Brighton are finalised. Liverpool continue their pre-season tour with a friendly against Wrexham in New York, the latest test for Andoni Iraola's injury-hit squad. On the governance front, all eyes turn to the 19th of September, FIFA's deadline for national associations to accept its World Cup investment plan, with an emergency UEFA meeting reportedly being discussed before then. And expect more twists on Barcola, Rodri and Krupi as the transfer window keeps heating up. That's your morning briefing. Stoppage time news before the final whistle.